Well, hello, welcome to the Biotopes. Today you're going to get an overview of the Biotopes Fish Room gallery. And this is the outside of the fish room. Obviously it's at night, but this is what it looks like now. And in fact, you kind of see the wall here in the fish room in the garage. It's a cutout. The fish room's a cutout from the garage. And I'm going to show you some clips right now from how this room started, and then we'll get back to where it is now. Alright everybody, welcome back to the Biotopes. Just to review what we're working with here, this is the raw space that we're making into the fish room. It's about 9.5 feet by 9.5 feet, and it's probably 10-foot ceilings or so. We'll still have to frame out a wall there that leads out into the garage. When that's boxed in, again, it'll be just about square. There is the incoming water, hot and cold. Obviously that freezer and stuff will be out of there. There's a door there on the left that will go to the outside. So that's what the raw room looked like before we did anything to it. Now when I go outside, I want to show you, this is where I'm thinking about putting the drainage. We'll do an automatic water change system, but I've got a drainage right here by this downspout that I think I can drill through that cinder block and run my drainage out through that drainage pipe into the yard. Let's take a video. This is the going to be the fish room, so I still have to put a wall here. I'm going to close this in. I move that bracket for the door, for the garage door over, because that wall is going to go right on that edge. There's my water supply, hot and cold. I put those two outlets in. I put that outlet in, and then I put this outlet in. So again, the wall will go kind of right between this door and these switches. So that'll be the wall. So it's about 9.5 feet square once that wall's in. These two exterior walls are insulated. This is an interior wall here that's obviously also insulated. So this is kind of the mock-up of the room. So you see I've got 3 double 75 racks, and then another rack with 20 highs, 10s, 5s. So those two 75s there, that's this wall. So essentially you have like a 75 here, or double 75 here. There'll be about a foot in between, which actually is like right where these hoses are. This will be the other 75. It'll be a little bit off center to the right here to allow room for this double 75, which will come out to about here. So that double 75 there. Measure this all out, and then this will be where 20 highs and 10s and some 5s, whatever I'll have there for potential grow outs, or if I get some angel eggs or rainbow cichlid eggs or baby rainbow fish or whatever. Just kind of play with some extra tanks, quarantine tanks, that type of thing. This is an old wrought iron 55-gallon stand. I'm actually going to sand that down, paint it, and make it into a bench, and like have a kind of a bench in the middle of the room. Just to kind of be able to sit and look at everything. So the next thing is I'm going to insulate the space in the attic here above the fish room. So I'll get that all insulated, and then obviously the wall that'll be here will be insulated. So then we'll be all insulated. So it's concrete floor. So this will be the door in and out to it. So yeah, so that's where we're at. All right, now that you saw that, let's check out the inside here. So you can see this is an exterior door. It's an insulated steel door. I've got this netting up here for the summer I'll close that and just allow some air flow into the fish room. But in the spring, winter time, a lot of times I'll keep it open and the door closed to keep all the heat inside. So let's go in. All right, we're not going to zoom in at all on anything today because I want to get you guys a good look of the fish room in its totality. So this is where we just came in. This room here is, as I said in the old videos, just under 10 by 10. It's got high ceilings like you would in a garage. Again, we've got a steel door here with a temperature and thermometer. So here on the door, I've got my temperature and humidity sensor, so I can track where the room's at. I've got a step ladder so I can get up to the top tanks. This is that bench. You guys saw that in the video. It used to be a 55-gallon stand, and painted it and put this seat on top, so now it's a nice bench. And I can keep all my tools down here, bucket of tricks, testing stuff, salt, ferts, garbage can. Everything's there. Got some decor on the walls. There's a fan up here that light used to be, so that's really great in the summertime. Get some airflow in here. I had my friend Maggie. She did this nice vinyl piece for me, so thanks, Max. This is the first stack of 75s. You guys remember from that plan layout of the room. Here's the two sets of 4 75-gallon tanks. Remember, each tank underneath has a 20-gallon long sump under there. We've got the upper Peruvian Solomos River biotope, the Costa Rican biotope, the Australian biotope. This is a Chinese, Southern China biotope there. And then you've got my dehumidifier, some artwork from the kids. Oh, each of these biotopes has a map of where the biotope is designed after. There. Got TV in here. Like I said, dehumidifier, everything, buckets, nets, pumps. This is the third stack of 75s. This bottom one right now is just a grow. Let me throw on a light. So that's growing out some angels and some rainbow cichlids and some giant danios. This top tank is the Indian biotope. All these lights are hung from the ceiling. See there? This sump is about a 15-gallon, give or take, acrylic sump. And just got another pump and hose. Just some storage bins here for, all kinds of bags and, just spare parts. There's a 10-gallon quarantine tank here. And this is my stack of 20 highs. There's 6 of those, as you see. These are all quarantine and grow outs. And really that's the whole room. You kind of see, you get the whole makeup. It's a lot smaller than I think it looks like on video. People have come over, have said that. My water changes are semi-automatic. So I've got water coming in here. I had a plumber friend of mine take this line here from the basement and come up and over, and that's my intake. That runs through a carbon block filter, so it takes out all my chloramine and chlorine. And then at each, let me try to throw a light on here. At each sump, I've got a gate valve. So all I've got to do is turn that water on. It starts adding water to the sump. I've got this Y here, and when I flip those valves, this top tank will start to overflow into my drainage system. And the drainage runs this PVC right here. Those pipes go into that Y there, the overflow. It'll run through that drainage behind that sump there, come around the room. There it is there again, comes all the way around the room, back there, and then it goes out this corner. Let me move this little 3-gallon tank out of the way here. You can see there it goes right out outside. And let me see if I can show you guys. It's kind of dark, but let me see if we can see. Actually, let me grab a flashlight. You can see that hose right there. That's from inside the fish room. It goes down and through this corrugated pipe here that goes into our, just kind of ends up going into the yard. So that's the drainage water. That's how it goes out. And back in. And the same thing happens with these tanks here. It's hard to see, but as you can kind of tell, these hoses, it's overflowed, drilled, and it goes down into another PVC Y right there, and then that line runs right here behind this tank and then heads out. So it's semi-automatic in the sense that I've just got to turn on the gate valve, add water, flip the valves here so that the top tank drains into the overflow. And as we're adding water, see, here's the gate valve there. There, as you guys can see there. This doesn't have a light, but the gate valve's kind of in there, in the sump. As I'm adding water, it's adding water to the sump, and then they're both pumping back in the tanks. One of the pumps is going into the top tank, which is overflowing. Here the overflows kind of in the middle. So it's diluting that water over time. So I'll do about 12 minutes of water change on these 75-gallon stacks. And then for my 20s, it's just an overflow system. So if you look down here, you can see the 2 sponges there. Those are kind of an overflow. Take this off here so you can see a little bit. See, it's drilled and it overflows there. This hose adds water to the tank. And then all I've got to do is just, the water comes around here. It goes through a pressure reducer here, and then some irrigation, and then these little valves here. So that valve will add water to these 2 tanks, the bottom. That middle valve will add water to these 2 tanks, and that top valve will add water to these 2 tanks. So all I've got to do is just turn this valve here, and then the water heads in. I've got the water off right now, but the water heads in to these hoses, irrigation line, and it overflows. And I've got the irrigation line in the opposite corner of the overflow. So the in is here, and then the out is there. So same thing here, in here, out opposite the corner, so I can Not, just dumping fresh water into the overflow. It's getting a chance to dilute as much as possible. So that's really the makeup of the room, all the kind of nuts and bolts. As you saw, maybe in that old video, I did add outlet here. There's an outlet back behind here, and there's 2 outlets here. There's one here, and there's another set. Oops, sorry. Another set right there. You guys can kind of see back there. So obviously built this wall, insulated up here in the attic area. Other than that, obviously built all the stands, did all the in and out water lines. Those are kind of the main things. I did paint these cinder blocks right here, which, like in the wintertime, gets a lot of condensation because the room is warm and outside is cold. So I painted with like a Flex Seal, and it works pretty good. It's not perfect, but I do get some condensation there. But yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, that's my Alexa. Sorry about that. That is vinegar eels. Yeah, that's the room. Just kind of an overview of what the whole room looks like. Again, I've got 675s, 620s, and a 10, and then this little 3-gallon I'll use. If I get some grow-outs, some eggs that are laid, real young babies, I'll put in there so I can feed them a little bit easier. But so yeah, so that's the fish room overall. I know a lot of people have asked, like, they just want a video of the room. What does it look like? And so this is that video for you guys. So again, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. We're up to 811 subs the last time I checked, so we're getting close to 1,000. If I've earned your subscription, please do share this out, give it a like. Let me know what you think of the room. Any suggestions? I'd love to hear about your room. Let me know maybe what we do different. So thanks so much for coming back to Biotopes, and we'll see you guys soon.